Good afternoon. I pray that your Tuesday was filled with spaces and places of joy, of peace, of happiness, that you found an opportunity to just exhale, an opportunity to rest, an opportunity to breathe in the midst of all this holiday hustle and bustle, or for you, this holiday time of just not feeling quite right, of not just feeling joy and not just feeling any excitement. I pray that you found space for some self-care. You may have noticed I haven't been doing any videos lately, and I figured it out because primarily I do videos when I'm out walking or I'm in a beautiful environment, but it's kind of cold where I live. But today I really wanted to do a video, so I'm sitting in my car. So anyway, the topic is judge not, or is it really judging? And so I want to make this really quick. I was at the pool where I've been going every day to get some exercise, and it's a family pool. It's a multi-generational pool, and the majority of people who come the time of day that I come tend to be seniors, people who are retired, so we have an array of things. Some people cover up their swimsuits. Some people have like tights or something under their swimsuits. Whatever it is, some people like me just wear your swimsuit. But anyway, today there was a young lady who was coming through, and she had a thong bikini. And when she came out of necessarily the dressing room, instead of coming into the pool area, she went to the front desk. And I was thinking, okay, she must not know the crowd that typically comes here. This is not, necessarily a thong bikini environment. And so I'm looking at her and I'm thinking that. There's another lady who's looking at her like with a face of shock, like she can't believe that she's seeing this, what she's seeing. And there's another lady who's in the pool beside me. And I need to add, and I don't want this to be about fat shaming or anything like that, because for me, it had nothing to do with this young lady's size. She was a heftier young lady, but in my opinion, she actually looked good in the thong bikini. It's just that for me, I just found it kind of funny because it just wasn't that kind of party. But the lady beside me said something that made me really think, and she said, with her nasty looking self. And that made me think, and to be truthful, it bothered me, because for me, it was simply, we're not really a thong kind of crowd this time of the morning, but for the lady beside me, she took it to another level and said, with her nasty looking self. And the story continues. The young lady then proceeds to walk over to another area of the pool, and she had her phone, and she was going to put her phone in a plastic bag. And I assume maybe she was going to take pictures or selfies or something like that, because she was probably in her 20s, and that's kind of what, that's the selfie crowd. But as she was getting in the pool, her phone dropped in the pool. And the lifeguard kind of hurried, a young guy, he hurried over to her, I guess to tell her she can't have her phone in the pool anyway. And as she bent over to get it, he turned to come back away from her, and he had a smile on his face, but it was kind of like an amusing smile. And the lady next to me said, yeah, even he had to laugh when she bent over. And that really made me think about how sometimes we are so quick to be judgmental. We are so quick to impose our standards on other people because that's what works for us. I love the phrase different strokes for different folks, because everything's not for everybody. You don't have to like everything that I say and do, nor do I have to like everything that you say and do. But if we want to be kind to each other, if we want to promote good community, it might be good to move away from being judgmental. And some folk may say, well, Carolyn, you were judging her by saying, she did not know the environment she was coming in. I don't know. You may say it's judgmental, but for me, it was simply know your environment. For me, it was simply, you typically would not go to your office with an evening gown on. You typically would not show up to a formal dinner in a bathing suit, unless you're a movie star and that's the latest style or whatever. I don't know. But in my mind, I really wasn't being judgmental. I was just chuckling because thinking this is really not this kind of party. But in the back of my mind, I was also thinking that may be the only bathing suit she has. But like I said, the lady beside me took it to another level when she said with her nasty self. And that implies that there was something nasty about a thong bikini. And I don't know if it was because of the young lady's size, because again, she was a big, beautiful sister. I'll put it that way. But, her stomach was definitely a lot flatter than mine, and so I'm like kind of in awe at the fact of, well, at least she can wear a thong bikini, and she has no problem showing her stomach. Me, on the other hand, that is not something you're going to see. So anyway, I just wanted to jump on here and invite you to think about, this whole idea of being judgmental, about trying to force our thoughts and our beliefs on other people. Wouldn't it be wonderful if we could just let people be who they're going to be, if it's not hurting you, and if it's not hurting themselves? There are people who, I was watching a TV show, Married at First Sight, one of the seasons, and there was a couple, and in the wedding procession, they came down on unicycles, and the girl had flowers and birds in her hair. That was their thing. Who am I to judge? That's what they like. And for me, I admired their creativity. So I would invite you to kind of think about, with all the other stuff that we have to go through in this world, with the virus, with poverty, with sexism and misogyny and homophobia and ableism, with all these things we have to go through, maybe we could just take a break or give ourselves a break in one area by not being judgmental. If it's not your thing, then don't you do it. But don't knock somebody else if they decide it's their thing. I'm going to close with, I was looking at something on Facebook, and it was a young lady. No, it was a guy, I think. I don't remember. I know it was a young person. I think it was a young lady. I'm not sure who. Oh, I know it was a young guy. And for whatever reason, he didn't have a shirt on, and his whole entire back was inked up, tattoos all through his back. And I've only ever seen this young man with clothes on, and I was thinking, wow, I would have never expected that. But notice, I didn't have a judgment. It was simply noticing and saying, And then my next thought, because I tend to think of interesting things, I wonder if it hurt. I wonder if he had it all done at the same time. Notice I'm not judging. I'm not saying it's good. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just acknowledging that this is different. I've never seen it before, and I'm curious. So I would invite you today, if you find yourself possibly moving towards being judgmental towards someone, again, if they're not hurting you, if they're not hurting themselves, if they're not hurting someone else, just possibly notice it, but not be judgmental. I love you all. I wish happy holidays to you all. For those who may be struggling, for those who maybe are going to have to spend the time alone, know that you are in my thoughts and prayers. Know that we have gotten through 2020 and 2021 with all these restrictions, and this too shall pass. I believe that with every ounce of my being. But in the meantime, in the moment, give yourself a big hug and know that it's coming from me, and know that better days are coming. So do something to keep your spirits up. Do something that makes your heart sing. Dance like nobody's looking, and know that you are loved, at least by me. Love you all, and I will talk with you later. Bye-bye.